For the second part of the study guide, I'm going to work through just a few of the examples that you see on the second page. So let's just talk first a little bit about physical and chemical changes. So if you recall back from class, a physical change is just simply changing the physical structure of a substance, but it's still the same thing that it was before. You have not changed the chemical composition at all. In a chemical change, you actually have changed the chemical structure and the substance is something totally new. So let's look at a couple of these examples. Salt dissolving in water. So if you are dissolving something, that salt that you started with is still salt. It is still present in the water after it dissolves, and the reason I know this is that if you drink or if you taste salt water, the salt is still there, you can still taste it. That is simply a physical change. Dissolving is physical. Hydrochloric acid reacts with magnesium to produce hydrogen gas. So I've circled here two important words, react and produce. We also talked about gases. So when a gas is produced, that is a big clue that this is a chemical change. And in this case, it is. The word react, produce gas, that is a very good indication this is a chemical change. A piece of copper is cut in half. That is simply a physical change. You're just cutting something in half. A sugar cube is ground up. That is very similar to the piece of copper above, simply a physical change. You're just grinding it up, making it smaller. Water is heated and changed to steam. In this case, the water is just being heated, it's getting hot, it's changing to steam. You had water before, you have water afterwards, it's just simply a gas. All of that steam is just water that is in a gas form. This is a physical change. It's just boiling. Iron rust. Well, this changes colors. That's one of our clues that a chemical change has taken place, and it is a chemical change. Ethyl alcohol evaporates. Evaporates, that's just going from a liquid to a gas. That is a physical change. I'm going to do two more. Ice melting. Similar to this one from here, that's just a phase change. Ice was water before, it's water after. That is a physical change. Milk sours or goes bad. Well, you've got a taste change. There's actually a precipitate that forms. Those chunks that form is a precipitate. So that is a chemical change. Hopefully these will give you a good indication of the remaining ones, and you have a good start on this page of the study guide. I'm going to do a few examples from each of these sections. So in this, we're writing whether the material is heterogeneous or homogeneous. So let's just do the last three. Air. This is a heterogeneous or homogeneous. Well, air, if we think about it, you can't see the different parts that are mixed into air, even though there's nitrogen and oxygen and some other small trace gases. So this is homogeneous. Milk. Again, if you look at milk, it looks the same all the way throughout, so that is homogeneous. And brass. Brass is a mixture of different metals, but it all looks the same, so this one is homogeneous as well. I'll go ahead and do number 7, sausage and mushroom pizza. You can see the different parts of this pizza, so this one would be heterogeneous. Let's look at 17 through 20. Identify them as element, compound, or mixture. So carbon dioxide. I see the word carbon. Oxide tells me that that is oxygen. So this is carbon and oxygen together, so that is a compound. Silver, it's on the periodic table, so it is an element. Ice, This is simply water, H2O. That's hydrogen and oxygen attached together, so that is a compound. And a Big Mac. Well, a Big Mac, you can see the bread, the lettuce, the different sauce, the cheese, the hamburger. So this is a mixture. For these, we want to classify the following properties as a physical property or chemical property. So good conductor. Conductivity was a physical property. You do not have to change that substance in order to see this property. Dissolves, like we spoke about before, when something dissolves, that is simply a physical property. The substance is still there, you just can't see it. Melting, that is physical. And malleable, again, physical. Those are all great examples of physical properties. Let's look at 26. Reacts violently with chlorine. That's reactivity. That would be a chemical property. Classify these changes as physical or chemical. Burning gasoline. Anytime you see that word burning, you have to think we don't have the same substance that we had before, so that would be a chemical change. Hammering. Gold into foil, that's malleability, so that would be a physical change. Melting, that's going to be a physical change. Digesting food, there's a lot of chemical changes going on there. You're not